again, and welcome to the RTK After Show. We're now 2 episodes in, and we're moving. Things are happening. My name is Perry. I'm one of the co-creators.
I'm Landon, also a co-creator of The Road to Kailua.
And on the RTK After Show, you can expect us to go deeper into some of the themes and moments that you experienced in the previous episode.
Yeah, so kids, if you're not listening with your parents, go grab them, listen to it together. It's going to be a good time.
Totally. Well, Landon, we've done a lot of new things. We've seen new cultures and met new characters in episode 2. Do you have like a favorite new character that we just introduced in the second?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chief Urku is an awesome character, played by the great Alvin Chia. His deep voice makes me happy. He just sounds like such the chief. And so not only do I like him as a character, but I think that scene with Oric is a lot, because not only is it a big moment for the story, but I think Oric is really wrestling with, man, I'm trying to do this thing to make my dad proud, and then I'm talking with this guy who used to know my dad and is telling me about some of his flaws, and I think Oric for the first time is maybe seeing some of his dad's flaws or coming to terms with them. And I think that's something, I mean, you and I both kind of wrote into that character, because I think in different ways, I mean, we talked about it on last week's episode, just how we look up to our parents in some way or another. And so for me, I think, and probably for a lot of people, it's difficult when you realize, oh, my parents actually aren't perfect. And then we kind of have to navigate those things. And so I think we kind of hold fast to the hope that, yeah, well, God is a perfect father. And so that's what we hold to so closely, even in moments where it can be tough. So.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. I can definitely remember that being such an impactful thing for me when you start realizing, like, wait a second, my dad's not perfect? What does that mean for all of my entire worldview, wanting to be like him, you know? So everything changes.
Yeah,
so.
It does. So, but Laboa is a ton of fun. I mean, Urku's a great chief of a great clan and this whole new culture and stuff, which you kind of poured a lot of your heart and soul into. So talk about like the Festival of Fire and kind of all that leading up to.
I remember when we first sat down to write this B plot, and we were kind of just spitballing ideas. We know we wanted to go to a festival, or like a new clan in the mountains, and they're having a festival. What is the festival like? And our first idea was the Festival of Figs.
Yes,
and
it was.
I remember a deep joke that we wrote that was like, our founder, Alfred Newton, or something like that. I don't remember. The Fig Newton. No, I don't. But it was so stupid. And eventually, that was cut, and we tried to go a little more grounded with the Laboan culture, and we landed on this Festival of Fire, and the idea of how, wow, we can connect fire and gold to these really important and really cool biblical themes, to connect the symbolism of gold and the refining process of gold, and how, you know, how Nali's talking to Oric about how it connects with their people. They're refining gold to become a more valuable version of itself. Yeah. And it's through, you know, she's connecting it to the village having hard times and growth through that. They become better people. And similarly, in our relationship with Christ, through different things, different trials that are put in front of us, and trusting in God and embracing growth, He creates us to be more like His Son. And through relationship with Christ, we become more like the person that God wants us to be. Reminds me a lot of the verse in 2 Timothy. It talks about the different vessels, the one made of gold or silver, that the master of the house would use for honorable purposes. You know, you have these lavish guests come to the house. He's going for those vessels, versus the ones that are for dishonorable purposes, such as, you know, you might feed the pigs with a vessel made of wood. You know, you think of a trough or something like that. And, you know, as followers of Christ, we want to be the vessels that are usable for the honorable purposes. You know, we want to be ready and able to do the things that God wants us to do for His kingdom and to move forward the gospel. So that's kind of the connections we had here with the Laboan Festival of Fire and the refinement of the gold.
Yeah, and I want to just tag on to that. I think a lot of the refining happens when we go through hard times. So I don't know what you're going through right now as you listen to this, but I do want to just say that the biggest times of my growth in my life have been when I've gone through something hard. And I don't say that to downplay what you're going through by any means, but just know that it's through those times of having to be so close to the Lord and persevering that we experience a lot of growth. Going through the fire. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, this was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed doing this with you, Perry, and we're going to do this again. So a reminder, parents, if you're listening to this with your kids, check out the questions down below in the description. They just provide kind of good Q&A, good conversation starters for y'all to have to kind of talk about some of the things that we mentioned here in this little back and forth. So thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah. See you after episode 3.